Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves.
I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. And I feel misunderstood, 'cause I'm trying hard to love.
In today's video, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about houseplant prices. I know this can be kind of a touchy subject, especially because there are always two people a part of this equation. There's the seller and there's the buyer. And we definitely do not want to be price shamers, so I definitely will be staying away from that in today's video. But I do have some great news for the houseplant buyers out there because houseplant prices are rapidly decreasing. And in today's video, I really am going to go into depth about why that is. And I'm also going to show you some of the plants that I have in my collection that have gone down in price drastically since when I bought them. So yeah, that is going to be the gist of today's video. Before we do get into it though, I want to say a huge thank you to my members. I appreciate you guys so much. If you want to join as a member, you can click the join button down below, or there's a link in the description as well if you can't find the join button. But yeah, I actually just posted a brand new members only video that is available for the Anthurium aficionados and higher. But we also do have a Discord group chat for you to join if you want to join at the lower levels too. So it's a fun time all around. But yeah, huge thank you to all of you guys supporting me that little extra bit. We are also so close to 10,000 subscribers. I would love it so much if you would hit that button down below and click subscribe. I will be doing a huge giveaway at 10,000 subscribers, so stay tuned for that, but we got to get there first. Also, if you do enjoy today's video, please give it a thumbs up down below. That helps me out a ton. I really do appreciate you guys helping me out there, but let's just get straight on into today's video. Over the last few months, houseplant prices have really been on a roller coaster ride. At the beginning of the pandemic, plant prices were basically at an all-time low, and it was really easy to get your hands on most plants. As the pandemic progressed though, more people were spending time at home and wanted something to fill their time, and plants were really a great way to do that. So with the rise in demand came a rise in houseplant prices. And that is really just basic economics. It's bound to happen. When things become popular, the prices go up. And a lot of that has to do with supply. If there's not a huge supply of the item that you're looking for, the price is going to go up. And that is just facts. So yeah, unfortunately, that was the case. But now we are actually at a point where prices are going down again. And it did take quite a while to get there. Honestly, people were really into plants. It probably lasted about a year and a half, which is quite long for a fad. I don't know if this is technically a fad, but I do know that a lot of people are cutting down on their plant purchasing, myself included, and because of that, there is a lot of supply of all of these plants now and not as many buyers. So that is why these prices are going down. It really just means that those who are in this for the long haul and really are still into the plants are going to be better off now. So yeah, that's basically why these prices are going down. It's just because some people are exiting the hobby. Some people went a little bit overboard maybe when they started their journey in the plant hobby, and now they're feeling like they're a little bit overwhelmed now that they're going back to work. But that is basically how that goes. It's pretty common that things will go in waves. There may be another super surge in prices eventually, but I believe for the time being, prices are on the trend downwards. There are a few plants that are actually going up in price still, but that will be a whole separate video. I don't want to talk about those in today's video. Maybe if you guys want a video all about that, I will do that. But yeah, we're just gonna get into the plants that I have that have dropped in price. The first plant that I want to talk about here is the Anthurium forgetii. This guy obviously is looking a little bit rough. It did just put out a brand new leaf that's looking really great though, so that is exciting. But this is a plant that I had a while back. I've had this probably for a year and a half now. It has seen better days, but it's coming back now, so I'm pretty happy. But I think I purchased this plant for about $160, and I've seen them around lately around the $100 mark. So this plant has definitely dropped in price. I would say probably by close to half, and that is sort of a trend. I will say, at least in this area, the reason that these houseplants that I'm going to show you have dropped is because there's a huge influx in people actually importing plants themselves. And a lot of these plants fall on those lists that these imports are giving out. So yeah, these plants are just a lot more available now, so the prices have gone down. And yeah, this is still a very beautiful plant. I would still get one today if I didn't have one. A lot of people might ask, do I regret buying this when I did because the price was high? No, because there's really no way of knowing whether the plants are going to increase or decrease in price. So you're gonna win some and you're gonna lose some, and that's just how this whole journey works. But I definitely appreciated this plant when I bought it, so I am more than happy about the whole timing. I don't think I spent way too much on this. There are definitely some plants that I'll get into that I feel a little bit sore about now, but not this one. This one definitely made me happy when I did get it. The next plant that I want to talk about is a really, really beautiful plant that I'm still super in love with, and this here is my Philodendron El Choco Red. This guy is a bush, and I absolutely love it. It is unfortunate, a lot of these leaves have ripped coming out. As you can probably see, they all rip on the same side. It may be due to some helping on my part, maybe, maybe not, but usually they just get a little bit stuck in the sheath, and that is pretty common with a lot of philodendrons. I actually was very lucky when I got this plant. I got it in a trade. I think it was a 1 or 2 leaf cutting at the time, but this guy was definitely worth a lot when I did get it. The 2 leaf cutting that I got, it was a really small cutting, and it was probably worth upwards of $250 at that time. And you would see easily bigger plants going for about $600, $500, $600. And that wasn't uncommon, but now I have been able to find these for around $200 or less. If you are looking for a cutting around the size that I got mine, which I mean, the leaves were even smaller than this one here, and there were only 2 of them, I would say that you're looking at about $100, maybe even less if you're lucky. This plant is really a dime a dozen these days. I wouldn't say it's gone into the common category by any means, but they are so much more available, and because of that, the price has drastically decreased. I would say this is probably one of the ones that have decreased the most. Again, I will get into some others that have also drastically decreased, but this one definitely took a big hit. I'm okay with it though, because I didn't spend $200+ on this plant. I traded for it, so I got lucky in that sense. But yeah, if I did plan to sell this in the future, it definitely wouldn't be worth what it was worth when I got it. This next plant is probably the one that took the biggest hit, and unfortunately it was my favorite plant, so I was kind of, you know, blind. I really just wanted it, but I did wait quite a while. It's not like I just found one day and bought it immediately. I did wait and see if I could find a good price, and at the time $330 was a great price for this Anthurium regale. It is a really super beautiful plant, and I stand by that today. This is the original plant that I got. I actually have 2 of them now though. I have this one, and then I have one that I got in a trade. That was the plant that got cold damage and died back to nothing, but this one is definitely, you know, a little bit more special to me. I bought this plant with 4 leaves when I got it, and you know, I thought that was a good price. 4 leaves for $330. At that time, a lot of people were selling 1 and 2 leaf plants for that price. So I jumped on it, and yeah, I was really, really happy with the price when I got it. Unfortunately, these guys are so accessible now though, that I could probably get one with 2 leaves like this for $150. And that hurts a little bit because, you know, at the time, there's not a chance that this would go for $150, but they're just everywhere. So yeah, it is a little bit unfortunate, and this one did sting a little bit, but there's not really much you can do. Prices will fluctuate, and maybe this will go back up in price eventually once people stop importing it so much. but if you're in the hobby for the right reasons, it doesn't really matter how much this plant is going for. It does suck for a lot of sellers out there that imported a ton of them and now can't get rid of them for what they paid for them. But for me, just a collector, it's not the end of the world. The next plant that has really dropped in price is the Syngonium Albo. This plant was going for about $150 when I got it, and it was probably half the size. This guy has definitely grown really nicely for me, and I'm super happy with it. I actually really love watching this plant grow. It's even got a little baby down here. I've taken so many cuttings from this plant too. So it's really been a great plant for me. Super easy care too. But this guy, you could probably find one around this size now for $120, and if you want a small one, you can find them for probably $50. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really happy that plants are becoming more accessible again to anyone that wants them. But I feel like honestly, most people in this area have one of these already. That is why they are down so low in price right now. The market really was flooded with these guys at one point, so it makes sense. But yeah, I'm really happy that this one is a little bit more accessible now. And yeah, it's really easy to propagate too, which is another thing that factors into price. I find if plants are easier to propagate, they do eventually go down in price once there are so many of them. Well guys, that is all for today's video. I'm sorry if that was so all over the place. I really didn't have a plan for this video, but this is how it turned out. So I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below. But that's gonna be all for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.